Okay, so I got this new Starseed deck, and I pulled three cards today. One was Transcendence, which is which has on here transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul's light to truly shine. And then we have Reflection. See all aspects of yourself through the reflection of the one who mirrors your hidden self. And then we have Creation. Being creative is a wonderful way of witnessing the unfolding of your limitless creative soul. So, the energy that I'm getting overall from this is that someone may be feeling like they're limited in the way they can express themselves or express who they really are. And with Reflection coming out, there may be people in your life that you feel are not allowing for you to fully be who you are. Or you might be worried that you might lose those people or they might not understand it or something like that. So, I think with this, it's important to, let's say they say something to you, or let's just say there's like a family member that when you try to be who you really are, maybe they say something to trigger you, or they say something not so very nice. You get really upset, and you internalize that feeling, and it's kind of just like a cycle. But if you really think about why you're triggered, then you can eventually get out of that cycle. Meaning, like, maybe this person is there to trigger you on purpose, so at some point you just say enough is enough. I don't care what happens. I'm going to be myself 100%. Like, I'm going to be authentically myself, and if you don't like it, then you don't have to be in my life. Like, it's not a fun thing to do, obviously, especially if it's a family member, but where we're going right now, that's the most important thing, in my opinion, is to be yourself, no matter what. And obviously, being yourself, I'm hoping that you're not hurting other people or being mean, but what I mean is, like, if you're feeling like you can't be authentic, like, I'm trying to think of an example. Say you just got into like spiritual stuff or like tarot card readings, or this is just an example that I thought of. And let's say a family member thinks that's crazy and it's weird and they don't like that you do it, and they tell you like to stop doing it, or they say something mean about it. And then you're triggered, and you feel like you can't do that anymore because you're worried this other person is going to not want to be around you or in your life. So at some point, though, you're going to reach a point where you say, you know what, this is my calling, this is what I love to do, I'm helping other people. Like, if you don't like it, then again, you don't have to be in my life. And I'm telling you, if those people are meant to be in your life, right? And obviously, if they're not, they'll fall off. And, a lot of times those are just lower vibrational people that just, you just can't sustain a relationship with anymore. But the people that are meant to stay, it might take them a little bit to accept, but they will be back and they'll respect you for putting your foot down and saying, you know what, this is what I love to do. And again, if you don't like it, then you don't have to be a part of my life, like in a nice way. So that's what I get from these two. But I also want to elaborate on, if you feel you're triggered anytime you feel triggered, because I feel like everyone gets triggered, right? You can say like, oh, I'm so spiritual, blah, 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 but you most likely get triggered as well. So whenever you're feeling triggered, my advice would be to write it down and write down why you're feeling triggered. Because a lot of those times that person is a mirror for an aspect inside of yourself maybe that you're not self-aware, like you're not aware of. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not aware that maybe you um, are not putting yourself first or people pleasing or something like that, you know? And so then at that point, when you write it down and you go through it, you become more self aware. And I think that's the most important thing because obviously we're all healing. We'll probably all be healing for a long time. But if you're self aware and you know who you are and what triggers you and what you need to heal and, you know, just who you are and who you're not, then nothing can really bother you. Like, at least you'll start to get to that point, right? Where people could trigger you, but it doesn't bother you. It doesn't bother you as much as it did before. And then at some point, it really won't bother you at all. So with creation, I just get that this is more like honing your gifts and being that creative soul and shining your light and, not dimming it for anyone. So that's what I get from these three. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching.